Remember when a stop at Little Chef felt like part of the journey? Or when Wimpy was the only place you could get a burger with a knife and fork? Britain's high streets and motorways were once filled with restaurants we all loved, but one by one they disappeared. In this video we're looking back at 20 iconic UK restaurant chains that defined childhoods, family trips and Saturday shopping sprees, and uncovering the reasons they vanished forever. From the prawn cocktail and steak days of Berni Inn, to the American-style fun of Fatty Arbuckles, these places weren't just restaurants, they were a part of who we were. Which of these restaurants do you miss the most? Drop your memory in the comments, the most nostalgic reply will get pinned. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more nostalgic countdowns of Britain's lost shops, cafes and restaurants. 1. Little Chef. Once upon a time, no road trip was complete without a stop at Little Chef. Whether it was the Olympic breakfast or a cheeky Knickerbocker glory, it felt like part of the journey. But by the 2000s, motorway service stations modernized, and Little Chef just couldn't keep up. Rising costs, falling demand, and by 2018 the final sites closed their doors. A whole generation grew up under that red and white logo, and now it's just a memory. Which meal did you always order? 2. Happy Eater. If you were a kid in the 80s or 90s, Happy Eater wasn't just about the food, it was the playground outside that made it magic. It was family dining on the go, a rival to Little Chef. But when the brand was bought out, nearly every restaurant was converted into, you guessed it, a Little Chef. By the late 90s, Happy Eater was gone. Today its yellow logo is pure nostalgia. Do you remember playing outside while your parents finished their tea? 3. Berni Inn. Picture it, prawn cocktail to start, steak and chips for the main, and Black Forest Gatto for dessert. That was the holy trinity of Berni Inn, the steakhouse that defined British dining out in the 60s, 70s and 80s. It wasn't fancy but it felt special. By 1995, Whitbread rebranded or closed the lot, and Berni was history. Ask your parents. For many it was their very first fancy restaurant. Did you ever eat at one? 4. Pizzaland. Before Domino's and Pizza Hut ruled the high street, there was Pizzaland. Affordable, cheerful, and everywhere in the 70s and 80s. Who remembers those pizza for a penny deals? But competition was brutal, and by the mid-90s the brand folded. Today only the name survives in old photos. Imagine being able to grab a family pizza dinner for pocket change again. Wouldn't you want that deal back? 5. Spudulike. Fast food didn't always mean burgers. In the 80s and 90s, it meant baked potatoes with endless toppings, and nobody did it better than Spudulike. They were in food courts up and down the country. But tastes changed, rents skyrocketed, and in 2019 the brand shut down for good. Jacket potatoes are still cheap, hearty comfort food, but Spudulike turned them into a movement. Did you ever queue up for one after shopping? 6. Fatty Arbuckles. In the 1990s, Fatty Arbuckles was the closest thing Britain had to an American diner. Giant burgers, milkshakes, Elvis memorabilia on the walls. It felt new, it felt exciting, until it all came crashing down. The chain went into receivership around 2000, and slowly faded from the map. But if you ever had a birthday party there, you'll never forget it. Be honest, did you ever tackle one of their monster-sized burgers? 7. Deep Pan Pizza. While Pizza Hut went thin, Deep Pan Pizza went thick. Families loved the all-you-can-eat buffets, gooey slices and bottomless drinks. But by the late 90s, it had lost the pizza wars. One by one the restaurants closed. Still, for those who remember piling plates high, it was heaven. Do you prefer deep pan or thin crust? 8. Wimpy. Once the king of British burgers, Wimpy was everywhere. Known for serving burgers with a knife and fork, it was our first taste of American-style fast food. But as McDonald's and Burger King expanded, Wimpy shrank. Today only a handful survive in small towns. For many it's a bittersweet sight, a reminder of what used to be. 9. Bernard Matthews Restaurants. In the 80s, turkey wasn't just for Christmas. Thanks to Bernard Matthews diners, you could have it any day of the week. But while the TV ads shouted "Buddha fool," the restaurants themselves never lasted. By the 90s most had disappeared. Bernard Matthews lives on in supermarket freezers, but the restaurants? Gone forever. 10. Gourmet Burger Kitchen. In the 2000s, Gourmet Burger Kitchen felt fresh, modern, and cool. Big patties, trendy toppings, and milkshakes made it a go-to night out. But after the pandemic and rising rents, most branches closed by 2020. A few survive, but the chain's glory days are over. Who misses the days when GBK felt like a treat? 11. Patisserie Valerie. Cakes, pastries and cream-filled slices of heaven. Patisserie Valerie was a high street gem. But behind the glass counters, trouble brewed. An accounting scandal in 2018 sent the company into administration. Many stores shut for good, and the chain never fully recovered. Once it was a place for afternoon tea. Now it's a cautionary tale. 12. Beefeater's predecessors, Berni Style. Before Beefeater became the steakhouse chain we know, it took over many smaller steakhouses like Berni Inn. Those mock Tudor pubs with big plates of meat were once packed on weekends. Slowly the old names disappeared, leaving only Beefeater behind. Today, only the regulars remember where it all began. 13. Bella Pasta, pre-Bella Italia. Long before Bella Italia there was Bella Pasta. It was a 90s favorite for casual Italian dining, big bowls of pasta, checkered tablecloths and bottomless soft drinks. In the late 90s, it was rebranded into Bella Italia, erasing the old name. The pasta may live on, but Bella Pasta itself? It's gone. 14. Harry Ramsden's. Fish and chips don't get more British than Harry Ramsden's. At its peak it wasn't just one chippy, it was a nationwide chain. The original Guiseley branch was once the world's biggest fish and chip shop. But expansion and financial troubles took their toll. Today only a few outposts remain, and the glory days are over. Who else remembers those massive portions? 15. 50s American diners. Red booths, jukeboxes and milkshakes. Britain flirted with 50s-style diners in the 80s and 90s. Chains popped up everywhere riding on the wave of Americana. But the trend faded and by the 2000s most were gone. For kids, it felt like stepping into Greece. Today, only independents keep that retro dream alive. 16. Giraffe. Quirky, colorful, and global, Giraffe was the go-to spot in the 2000s for casual world food. From smoothies to stir-fry it felt fresh and fun. But after multiple takeovers and declining sales, many branches shut. Giraffe still exists in pockets, but its days of being everywhere are long gone. 17. TGI Fridays as it was. In the 90s and 2000s TGI Fridays was the big night out, sizzling fajitas, cocktail towers and birthday staff singing at your table. But high costs and changing tastes hit hard. Many branches have closed and the brand has shrunk. Fridays still exists but not in the way we remember. 18. Pizza Express spin-offs. In the 90s, Pizza Express experimented with spin-off concepts, from new pizza brands to pasta-focused eateries. Most didn't last. Consolidation meant they vanished quickly, leaving only the Pizza Express name behind. Blink and you missed them, but for those who remember, they were part of a very experimental era of dining. 19. Pancake and waffle houses. Before dessert parlors, Britain had pancake and waffle chains in the 80s and 90s. Sweet or savory, they were family favorites after shopping trips. But by the early 2000s, most had disappeared, replaced by coffee shops and fast food. Today's dessert bars owe them a debt, but the originals are gone. 20. Novelty family restaurants. From pirate-themed diners to jungle cafes, the 80s and 90s were full of novelty restaurants aimed at families. They were big on fun, light on food, and unforgettable to kids. But they were expensive to run, and by the 2000s most had closed. They may have vanished, but the memories of eating under plastic palm trees or neon parrots still make us smile. These restaurants weren't just about food, they were about memories. They were birthday parties, family trips, and the taste of childhood. Which one do you miss the most? Drop your story in the comments and let's bring those memories back together.